My friend do that one to me. Hi, it's me, Chio. Welcome. And we are back for another episode of The Smart Money Woman. And this is episode 2 recap. Okay, so like the last one I did, I talked about the book before I delved into the episode because I hadn't actually watched the episode for myself. But this time around, I've watched this episode. But I figured it's still a reasonable way to go about this. I'm just going to briefly talk about what happened in the book before I dive right into the actual series. So when I started reading, what I noticed is that the first chapter, I really liked the character, even though I did not support her spending habits. But by the second chapter, I just began to dislike her. And okay, funny thing, I don't remember her name. I'm sure it will come to me, but honestly, my mind just went blank on what her name is. But why I didn't like her is because we already established that she doesn't manage money well. But seeing every other part of her life that she's not managing well just made me question her life ethics. Mostly because of her work ethics, actually, because we are introduced to her monologue, and from there we get into her going to work and being late for work, and just her general approach to the work life was so poor. But instead of getting this from her perspective, you get it from the boss's perspective. And honestly, I don't think the boss is that important enough of a character for us to see an inner monologue of the boss talking about his experience working with her, because we understand from him that she doesn't perform as well as when she started. Like when she came, she has so much potential and he was on her side. He really wanted her. It was one of the few I just got back students that he felt were actually making effort in the Nigerian market, and he just wanted her to do well. But as time went by, I said like reducing how much effort she puts into work, showing up late, not completing presentations well, refusing to go for seminars that she deems that are not good, but he tells her to go, and she has not gone for them, this particular one, so she doesn't actually have proof that they aren't good, kind of thing. And while this information is useful for us to understand the character, it was so much of an information dump because you're getting it from his side of view. But if we had seen the action of this happen, then would have felt it was more like a story than just someone explaining someone's life to you kind of situation, like basically what I'm doing now. But what makes this internal monologue worse, besides the fact that we are getting info dump and we're getting from a character we don't particularly care about, is the fact that right after this info dump, there is like a dialogue exchange between the boss and her where we rehash this whole conversation we just had. So I'm reading this and wondering what was the point of reading this part. So yeah, that's how I felt about the story. But basically the main issue is her attitude. Her attitude in this second chapter was really bad. She didn't know how to handle her job. She kind of had this negative view of her boss, even though she wants his respect, even though she wants him to see her as someone that is doing the work, she still has like a negative view. And honestly, I don't see how she got where she got, even with us being told that she had like potential when she started closing a big deal and all that jazz. But yeah, so after having a bad day at work and we know that she still has car trouble and she's still stressed, she goes back home and she's trying to sneak in when she runs into her landlord, and she's been trying to avoid her landlord because she's been owing rent. But basically this time around she can't avoid him, right? So this part here, it's kind of like where you don't support somebody but the other person is worse, so because the other person is worse you have to support the other. Oh my god, I was this guy deserves a slap. This landlord deserves a slap. And before I'm getting ahead of myself, the main thing is that when he runs into her, he's angry that she hasn't paid. And it's understandable. You have to, like, you can't be keeping people stranded. They also need this money for other things. They need to spend money for their own life maintenance, and he can't be just owing people all the time. So he's understandably angry that she has been avoiding him, she has not paid, and he has to chase her up and down basically. But it is unforgivable. Okay, exaggerating, but kind of not, that when he is berating her for not paying, he makes a comment about how he shouldn't have allowed her to get the apartment in the first place because of, I'm not quoting, like, I'm not quoting exactly how he said it, but this is basically what he said, talking about how basically insulting her as a woman, that, oh, I shouldn't have let this woman that is coming in here after her sugar daddy or whatever word he used to call the guy paid for a place that all these people, they will not pay. They will expect a man to pay for them, and now when it comes to the next one, after they've fallen out with the person, they now start running around hiding from paying their rent. So understandably she got angry, and I would have slapped him. I would have got kicked out right then and there, because you can't talk to me like that. And like, what pisses me off is that this is not just, oh, written for dramatic effect in the story. This is legit a problem women go through all the time. You can't rent an apartment as a single woman, because the first assumption is, how did she get her money? She's going to be bringing men over the house. Like, the men that are renting your place are not bringing women over the house. Like some of these men don't also have sugar mummies or whatever that are supplying the money to pay for the apartment. So it's just discussing the way women are perceived, women that are doing something for themselves. And it irritates me more because I have had experience like this. Like, you can't have 19s. You can't go and work early on Saturday morning, because the assumption is, if you're living in a place, you're coming out from a man's house. Like, I actually live here and I'm going to actual work, kind of thing. So I'm not even thinking of going through that hurdle of getting a place and having to deal with comments like that. I don't know how I'll do it, because I'm not the kind of person that sits back for stuff like that. So that's what I can say. But that scene irritated me. But I was happy that she put the man in his place. She shouted at him, told him, like, you can't be angry about me not paying, but you don't dare talk to me like this. And she walked out on him, kind of stuff, and he was dumbfounded. So I was kind of pleased with that scene, but just the fact that the scene even had to happen was really upsetting. But this encounter emboldened her to actually make an attempt to ask people for money, just be upfront that she confronted something and the world didn't end. So since she needs this money to come, like the loans to pay off all the debt she owns, she can just ask people she knows upfront and get the matter solved. So she calls her mom for help. Now the thing is, family, the idea of having family help you is a sweet idea, a sweet setup and all that. But I don't think she should have asked her mother for money. Why? Not because it's wrong to ask your mom for money when you actually need the help and your family is there to support you and all that. Was because of how she went about it. The conversation she had with her mom was her mom talking about how she was having troubles and then there was no light, so they had to spend extra money on fuel and all that. And the mom complained about how much expenses she had to deal with and how much she was struggling at this point. And the mother is not like a high income earner. So for this woman to have presented this problem to her grown-up child and the child still opening her mouth to ask her for money is like, why? Yes, you should be able to ask people that are in your life, people that love you and you love, for help, but know when to, not when the person is struggling, that to be asking them. Like, it wasn't proper at all. It wasn't proper in my opinion. So basically this is the line of conversation, the scenarios that happened in the second chapter, and it ends with the lesson of money fears, talking about how when people are in trouble they keep it to themselves and they're too scared to like put it out there, asking, leaning on family and friends for support to solve this problem for them. So this was her taking charge of the issues of first not knowing how to explain to her landlord that she would pay and make a plan of how she would pay and stuff like that, to asking friends and family to help her and all that drama. She did that, but she did not do it in the best of ways. But that was what the chapter was talking about, that you should be able to, when you have a problem like this, you should be able to sit down and actually see the figures. Why can't I do this? What steps can I take to solve this? Who can I ask for help? Kind of scenario. So that's what the chapter was talking about. It was just not delivered as beautifully as it should have been, in my opinion. So, with this information, I went into watching the second episode to see how they tackled this lesson they wanted to bring. And as it started, I was very annoyed. Like, I don't know if it was the acting or just that. I think it was just that scene, because the attitude was not actually translated in the rest of her life. But in the first scene, we see her basically um crying straight begging, not crying, but like like I don't know how to I don't know what the expression is for this scenario, but I'll put a clip for you to see what I'm talking about. But we see her complaining to the landlord not to throw her out and throw away her things, that she'll pay him soon, so she handle her things with care. But it's like how she was talking was very, very annoying. It was this kind of babyish talk that wasn't particularly cute. So that's how she was talking.
Oh my god! Sir, these were designers. Fendi? Oh, Christian Dior. Oh, Louis Vuitton.
So yeah, that's it happened. But the thing is, it turned out to be a dream. She was having a nightmare of her landlord kicking her out. But even the dream was gross. So just, uh, I don't know what's worse, the real life situation in the book where he insulted her for needing men, or the series dream situation where the guy was propositioning her that like he would sleep with her to get the rent paid or whatever, a service charge. So just yuck. Not yuck to the series, just yuck to the guy and the scenarios. Then with that scene, nothing much. He wakes up. We get like a intro to what the episode is about, and nothing really happens with her. We see a call from her ex boyfriend and all that jazz. Yes, that drama is still going on, but nothing. She doesn't pick it up, so there's no scenario there. But from there, we see one of her friends again. I do not remember. Zuri, that is the main girl's name. Oh, thank goodness I remembered it. Zuri is the main character. On the other hand, I don't remember the friend's name. But we see her friend shouting at her younger brother, who she sponsored and everything, and like we're seeing more drama than we saw in the book. So this is already more interesting. And she's shouting at the boy because he's talking about his dreams are valid. This 22-year-old boy who has the thing is, I don't know if to call me a man or boy. I think by 22 you're a man. Like 22 is a weird age for me, especially for both guys and girls, but mostly for guys. The way I view guys, like when you're 22, you're not a kid or adult that now what I'll call you will depend on your attitude. If you act like a child at 22, then I'll see you as a child. If you act like a grown up, then I'll see you as a grown up, kind of thing. That's what the age 22 for guys looks like to me. So basically, he's talking about how he wants to drop out of school and become a footballer, and she should sponsor his dream.
All this sacrifice, and you have not seen anything. You work in an oil company, you drive a badass car. Mommy was right, you're going to do this. You know what, sis? My dreams are valid.
So like, guy, this girl, your sister, not your mother, who has sponsored you all your life, and you're not grateful, and now you want to waste your life doing my dreams are valid. No, it's not like people's dreams are not valid though. You can dream big, but don't be rude to somebody. Don't be dependent on somebody for your dreams. Please handle at 22. If you want to chase your dreams, chase your dreams. Don't think anybody's going to sponsor that adventure. You're on your own. So yeah, like I know everybody's like, oh, don't beat anybody, but she handles the situation in a rather good way, in my opinion. Because in fact, she just like keep quiet and just leave. That's it. Just like leave my house. That's it. Because take your wahala, take it to your mother who is supporting you but is not sponsoring you. Take it to her, and you guys can live your dreams together. kind of scenario. Then from there, we go back to Zuri's life, and she is on a call with her mother, and she asked her mother for money again. I am happy with this time around with Zuri, because this time around Zuri did not. This time around, the mom didn't complain about things. Like, sure, the mom is still not a high income earner, but it's not like beyond possible for her to help Zuri. So when Zuri asked for for a loan, and this is after like Zuri had actually sent her gifts and stuff like that beforehand, like before the scenario even happened. So it's not just a matter of her kind of leeching off her mom, who she should not be leeching off of. With this scenario, I prefer Zuri in the series than in the book for this chapter anyways. The mom obviously can't afford that, so she tells the daughter that she can't pay for it. But before she does that, she brings up this issue about, this is why you need a man, this is why I told you to marry, kind of thing. And I'm like, I know parents, I know a lot of parents are still like that. Like, I know a lot of parents are still in that mindset of all your needs will be solved with a husband, but still, no, just no. So after that scenario happens, she's still in her office, and this guy, he better be useful. Something better happen with him in another episode. Something actually that is contributing to the plot better happen in another episode, because this was the most unnecessary character I'd seen. And my thing is like, why? What? No, I want to understand. I feel like I know what they're like, where they're going, but I want to understand, why did you think it was necessary to add this character? On one hand, he could be like a, if you're developing his character with the main lead, it could be a scenario of him convincing her to join all this money doubling or pyramid scheme things, and then she fall into a different rabbit hole, so it's going to be like a different lesson. So that will be like the continuity of bringing in, because that's what he came to do, offer her a quick way to make money fast kind of thing. But if this is not what is going on, the other thing I can imagine is copying cliche American romance movies where the main girl always has a gay best friend or something. And this was not the scenario because they're not best friends or anything, but you just had that feeling of it too, like forcing someone into an unnecessary role. There's no continuity, there's nothing. So I'm waiting to see where this one actually goes. It's just the introduction of somebody just that didn't seem relevant to the plot kind of annoyed me. Oh my. So hopefully this character goes somewhere. If not, I'm going to have beef with this series. Has to go somewhere. Then obviously the book has mostly focuses on Zuri's life, but in the series we get to see more details of what's happening with her friends or acquaintances, things like that. So another woman friend of theirs, I think, actually not even sure she's a friend, so I don't think I saw her in the group. Maybe, but basically we introduced to her shopping, and her husband calls her talking about how there is a 3 million naira spending in the last week, that the accountants told him about it. And this man like, of course, it was shopping kind of attitude.
But what's the point of having money if we never spend it? But you don't want me to spend your money.
And please relax on the crazy shopping, alright? I mean, the accountant keeps calling me worried. You know, money is finite.
My guy, you're not serious. And she tells you like, what am I supposed, like, if you're making money, don't you want me to spend your money kind of thing? I'm like, oh no, no. And the man is not even trying, because she's just kind of meek, and he's just there like, okay dear, just the accountant is complaining, Sha. To see you that is complaining, or the accountant that is complaining, let's know who actually cares about this money more, so we understand where the problem is. If it's you, then please try harder. If the accountant, that means you want the money to be spent now, so that's why she's spending it. But if the guy seriously doesn't want the money to be spent, then he knew the wife he married. Let's just say that he knew who he married when he married her, and for him to now start complaining after however long they've been married, serious. he married someone that only knows how to spend. This is not wise with the money. And that happened. So yeah, then from there we go back again to Zuri's scene where Olamide calls again. Like, why is this nonsense human being still calling you? She had blocked his number. I don't know why you never even blocked his number immediately. You found like maybe you found out his situation. She had blocked him, but she agrees to meet up with the guy. Maybe she was looking for closure. Closure is a myth. It is. It's an elusive creature. You chase it, you might never find it. But she went looking for whatever conversation was looking for, and obviously this nonsense human being, this waste of space of a man or whatever he thinks he is, that is already engaged, is calling her to proposition her and acting like there's no he has no problem, like there's nothing he has done wrong. And I'm just there like, why would you even waste your minutes listening, waste your senses, you're wasting your eyes looking at him, wasting your nose perceiving him or smelling him or whatever, wasting your ears hearing him, you're wasting your life. Even if it's for 5 minutes, you're still wasting your life. You shouldn't even have entertained him in the least. And of course, he offers her money when he finds out that she needs money. And like, even though he doesn't like outright say it in the words, his terms are basically for them to keep hooking up on the side while while he's married. Oh god. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Well, she leaves the conversation after dropping this beautiful quote.
Keep your money. Lose my number.
But while her statements was good to end things, we'll see how, if she sticks to her words, if she's actually done, or if she's going to keep going in circles with this human being. But I wish she even did more. Like, yes, I know we have to be like classy and all that, and to let things go you have to be the bigger person, but sometimes being petty in situations makes sense. Like, I would have supported you 100% if you poured a drink on him. 100%. You should have done anything you wanted at that point. You deserve that moment. Then from there we go to a lunch or dinner date kind of stuff with her friends. Like, they're all there, like basically discussing the most recent happenings in their lives. And while everyone is on whatever topic, like everybody's like having their own thing, and Zuri is kind of looking sad, and her friends are asking about it, when Tammy just blurts out that she's broke and in debt. My friend do that one to me. And it's not just the fact that she's saying it with knowledge that she's not going to help and nobody's really going to help. So why did you expose your friend, this friend that you know that even though you are like a group of friends, the level of closeness is different, and you know that with the environment and everything, that it's hard for them to trust each other with such embarrassing situations, and you just blurt it out. The conversations I hear about people is like, people always say, oh, there's always that one friend. Like, there doesn't have to be that one friend. You do not need every friend or supposed friend in your life. Like, you can't, like, nasty. That was really bad. You should have exposed your friend like that. I mean, nah, that's wrong. But of course, the friends, only one of them like offers a sort of support, and we'll see from later episodes if she actually goes through with the support she offered. But other ones are like, sorry man, I can't help you. So even the Tammy that brought it up is refusing to help. But that is where the series ends, and we get the lesson again. And this time around, there was no actual, she didn't actually tackle it at all, actually, the fear of money fears or telling things to her friends. She didn't make an effort on her own. Zoe didn't make an effort on her own to tell anybody anything. The only person she talked to was Olamide, and that wasn't even about money fears. It was just trying to find closure and move on kind of stuff for her. So I didn't see the lesson when the episode happened, even though the episode was more interesting than the second chapter in the book. And also another problem I had with both of them, like so many ads, so many ads in the book, ads in the movie or the series episode, whatever. So many ads, and it just reminded me. And the ad placement wasn't even like clean. It's this like jarring thing, like you're trying to be entertained or learn something, and next thing someone is shoving a product down your throat. So yeah, that was hard to sit through while reading and also while watching the episode. But I'm sure some people will not find the problem, so whatever, right? But that is all that happened in the episode 2 of The Smart Money Woman. All in all, I'll just give it like an average rating, like out of 5. If I'm doing like a 5-star rating, then I'll just put that a 3, because it wasn't particularly special. There were a lot of scenes I felt like they were just hanging around waiting for the next thing to happen, but it was still light. Even with the some serious situations that were happening, it was still light. And we'll see how the next episode goes. Hopefully like the game gets up the game. And that's it for my recap of The Smart Money Woman Chapter 2 and Episode 2. If you've liked this one, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And turn on the notification bell below so you never miss a thing. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.